for two and a half years, I gave up running because I thought I felt stagnant
Yeah.
with it. But the thing that got me back was I watched Crystal Linsky race. I didn't realize until I had pre-op on Friday, going through everything. And once I went into the hospital that I'm gonna be at, I'm like, holy crap! I really have cancer. You never know, that bottom of the totem pole could become top of the totem pole one day.
I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Possible, always with the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts. I mean, your favorite two black runners coming at you every single
Two Black Tuesday. For the real ones, we back. And it's been a minute. It's been a minute, I feel like, since we had just a For the Real Ones podcast.
Bro, the last time we had a For the Real Ones was all the way back in May, like middle of May. We had on Chris, and we were talking about like previewing Prefontaine Classic. The last time that we had a podcast where it was strictly just us two the entire time was all the way back in April before Mount Sac. It's like, it hasn't been two black runners in a cool minute, but hey, we still got someone. We got another runner coming onto the podcast later on. You'll see at the end of the podcast, we did an interview with Derek Rubis, the hub of track and field, in the last 20 minutes of this podcast. So if you want to just skip ahead from the For the Real Ones, you can go ahead and do that, and you can listen to Derek Rubis, the legend that he is. And also shout out to Derek Rubis right now. He just had a surgery, everything right now. He's recovering. You can follow him on Twitter and all that. But shout out Rubis. Shout out Rubis.
Best love and wishes out to Derek Rubis while he recovers. Everybody send on a prayer for him. Put a comment on the YouTube for the homie Derek Rubis. We Oprah certified, but we Derek Rubis certified as well. So it's been a blessing. But like you were saying, bro, like you said before Mount Sac, that's like really the opener of the year. And now World Championships is happening starting on Friday. And this is where we're at. A lot has happened in that time span. So many things have happened. It's been an amazing season, and I'm excited to see, the culmination of the season at World Champs. Like we really about to be out there.
Yeah, talking about like Mount Sac was definitely like the very, very beginning. Got to see that wasn't a Things opener, but that was Allyson Felix's opener. That was Dilla LaFont. Which is just crazy. That was Allyson Felix's last opener.
Race. Yeah.
Her last opener.
Her first race, my bad.
Yeah. Her last opener ever. And now we're going to see her final track race potentially ever this weekend. This weekend. This weekend as we record this, she's going to be racing in the mixed relay on the first day of the World Championships on July 15th. And I think she's going to do another race. She was mentioning that in the press conference that we went to at USA Championships. She's going to do like a road race in LA, something of that nature. I think she was saying it was going to be a 200 if I remember correctly. But like her last professional track and field World Championships is happening this week. And it's just crazy to see like from that beginning of the season to now and being able to go through the circuit more than ever this year has really, truly been a blessing, Aaron.
Yeah, bro. And to like be a part of like this year, I feel like I'm a part of the program. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a part of like bringing to life Allyson's season. And it's crazy to start off like seeing her like come to Arcadia for meets, to sign autographs, seeing her race at the Home Depot seeing her on all these Olympics. And now it's like, dang, like, I'm a regular. Like I talked to Allyson like freaking like 4 or 5 times this year. Like that's wild. That's wild to me. So to feel a part of the program, I feel like it's the biggest change from last year. I felt so new, but now I feel like two black runners, running report, whatever you want to call it, is like a staple in the community. And I really feel like we started to make an impact. And you could tell when you're in the mix zone and seeing all the different type of content that is out there, So it's been cool to just see that all develop.
Yeah, it's definitely been amazing. And for some of y'all that may be new to Two Black Runners, you're all like, bro, what are these people talking about? Like, why isn't there a guest yet? Like we said, the guest is going to come soon, but these are our For Real Ones episodes that we do where we kind of just kick back, relax, and kind of just uncut, unfilter in a way and just talk about what's going on like with the Two Black Runners. A couple of our first podcasts, like it was just me and Aaron or just me and Aaron and my dad. Like it was the Two Black Runners and really just started doing our thing. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys, the opportunities that we got. So I gotta say, just anybody listening to the podcast, make sure that you rate the podcast, especially on Apple Podcasts. Give a review. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. And I know you usually do this at the end, Aaron, but I just want to shout out this person right now, Mendolowitz on June 16th, leaving their comment, raw excitement on Apple Podcasts. He said, these guys have never-ending enthusiasm that is infectious for the sport of track and field. I just want to shout out that man giving us the 5 stars. Really do appreciate that. And it's the reason for stuff like that we're able to get into like featured into that Runner's World article and also into Oprah Daily at the beginning of June. And it's crazy that we haven't been on the podcast to really talk about that yet, because the only reason we were able to get to that point is because of doing the Two Black Runners, like interacting with y'all and trying to bring y'all the best content for the culture and by the culture. And it's been a crazy journey. Like, especially getting on that Oprah thing, that's pretty wild, Aaron. That was pretty wild.
No, and you're 100% right. Where like that's due to everyone that listens, every single week. Like y'all really are real ones. Like we mean that, and y'all really have definitely like pushed us to be, as best as we can at this like content, media, whatever you want to call it, game, and that keeps us going for sure. Yeah, but what really keeps me going as well is, being able to make a visible, like not even a visible, but being able to make an impact. And I think, getting that type of publishing with Oprah and Runner's World, like the goal is always to like open up the door for the next person, and like to me, one of those things is like now at a track meet, off of being an Instagram, podcast, YouTube, whatever, you can put that down while you're applying for a credential and you get in. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was like that 3 years ago. You would get in, you're an Instagram personality or something, you would get in. So like definitely it's because of the people on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok, this revolution that's happening in media has like elevated everyone. But I guess for the Oprah thing, like it wasn't until the article actually came out,
Yeah.
that I was like, oh dang, like this is actually a super big deal, because like you never know who's gonna look at that, you never know who's gonna look at that, who's gonna contact you, and how many more opportunities that are gonna come from that. And for that to come from us just doing a podcast every Tuesday, you know what I mean? Like we really just two black runners. We really ain't nothing crazy like that, bro. Like we recording this on Zoom right now. You know what I mean?
And I think what was crazy too, like when I first seen, shout out to Nika as well, who wrote the article for us. We did like an interview and she wrote the article and everything. And for one though, I will say that I don't go to Mount Sac anymore. I go to Cal State Fullerton. I know Tanika did that. I don't know how that happened. Got lost in translation. I'm just saying though, I go to Cal State Fullerton. I go to Mount Sac no more. I have to put that out there. But I know once I opened up like the Oprah Daily thing, and I seen like when you open it, it's like the first thing you're met with is like future rising, meet the Black trailblazers, moving our world forward, and like the scroll to see like so many like stories of so many like Black people trying to make like a change in like the world in so many different ways, and then for our name to be upon that is like
it's crazy.
It's not every day that I wake up thinking I'm a Black trailblazer. You know what I mean? Like that's not every single day. I would like to think I'm like that. You know what I mean? Like I can be that, but it's not something you envision yourself every single day. So to see your name like attached to that in a way is something that's definitely like is mind boggling in a way, and definitely attached to somebody as accomplished as Oprah. Cause like, I don't know if dude, to be anything compared to Oprah, like in a way would be incredible. Like she was able to control the whole nation at a point in a way.
People want her to run for president. People probably still do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I'm also happy that track in that Black Trailblazers Future Rising. I'm happy that we were able to represent for track and field. That we were able to have track and field in that conversation, and that there is like this movement and conversation to have like, more voices, the correct voices, like in these spaces to do these things. So I'm happy that, that's just in that conversation, because you never know someone from like track and field that's similar to us that knows Oprah. They see that, they get inspired, they create content, they take it to a whole nother level that we couldn't, So like, I think it's good for the sport too, for us to be there. And even like the runner's world thing too, like to be on the runner's world, I think it validates not only us, but I think it validates a lot of people that are in this game doing the same thing. And like, soon to be, man, what do you think too? Like, we seeing our friends is coming up, man. Our trackhead friends like T, Colin, Matt, like they really coming up. They all doing their thing, bro. Like they all stars for sure.
There's a change. It's a change really brewing, I think the main conversation, I think in the running report, when we first started doing running report and Two Black Runners, when we talk about running, was always all like, oh, there's a changing of guard. Like in media, there's a changing of guard, like a big changing of guard that's definitely like happening. We'll see how it all, like, if that's a successful change, you know what I mean? But I think there definitely is a changing of guard in just how we consume media going forward. And I'm just excited to see like the more things that we're able to create. Because I think we definitely went into this year, because we're going 6 months into this year now. So it's good to have this kind of podcast to kind of reflect. Because going into this year, I was definitely saying like, bro, I don't know how much to be able to do on running report, because school and everything like has been wild. But like we definitely produced so much more video this year than ever before in the past couple of years. Like everything on Two Black Runners for like the past couple of weeks has just been all video, which has been great. And I feel like has definitely opened up like my creative juices a little bit more again, bro. Cause like even just doing like, do you like track and field stuff? We did this other video that we're gonna have coming out really soon that I think you guys are really enjoy as well. Like it's been really fun and be able to show us as Two Black Runners in so many different places. Like even when I made that like little short thing, solo runner for my class, like I've been really enjoying that.
That was
and
good.
Just having, that was pretty good though, huh?
Low-key, Low-key, you've been in your acting bag, bro. We low-key both. I had some acting. We low-key been in our acting bag this year a little bit, bro, on some of these videos.
Bro, I was looking back at Rosie Project videos like this for the past like 4 days, low-key. And I was like, bro, some of that stuff was kind of funny, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, some of that stuff was kind of funny. Like, and just because I want to just start doing more vlogs and stuff more. And we do have vlogs. I just need to like edit them. But we've been editing other videos and stuff like that's busy. But yeah, those Rosie Project vlogs, bro, and especially like 2019, like some of that stuff was kind of good. Like, no cap. Like,
that was fire, man.
I'm gonna have to post some of that on Twitter or something like that, because some of that stuff was kind of good. And it was all like, yeah, I want to start doing more vlogs and stuff like that too, because for one, we could do podcasts, we can analyze like running and stuff like that too. But also like we can, like Aaron always talk about, we want to do like skits and like we can do like funny vlogs and stuff like that. Like I just want to bring all that be like behind the culture of like running. Like all of it is always encompassing running, but there's so much more than running than just the workout Wednesday or something like that. Like, bro, I think running can be related just walking into routes. Like that could be related to running. And I don't know. I feel like we've been able to show that a lot.
And that's what I like. That's what I kind of mean too by like the Oprah thing, like being that we were there from a running aspect and track and field. Yeah. Because maybe people don't think of like Black Trailblazers as in within track and field or like something with running commentary. That's such a niche thing. But it is like, no, we can like through this like Two Black Runners journey, whatever we're going through, we're able to connect with people. And that's something I like about our podcast too. It's like I look at on Anchor sometimes, just like at the spectrum, it's like 18 to 24, 20%, 24 to 34, 20%, 30 something to like 40 something, 20%, 44%, like I'm giving out numbers right now, but like 44%, like 44% women, like 55% men. It's like,
Bro, are you
dang.
reading this off right now, bro?
I'm not reading it, but I be on it. But I'm close. I'm
I
sure
think
those
that's
are
what's up to
close.
you.
I'm not a
I'm pretty
captain.
sure that's close. Yeah.
That's really what it is. But it's just like we're really like for some reason, but what we're doing, being ourselves, like we're connecting to a lot of people who are different from each other. Like, like we're connecting to the general public in a way. You know what I mean? And I think that's really cool. And like you're saying, I think that's just, I don't know, for some reason that's what we create. So if we have more opportunities to do that through like skits and stuff like that, I think it'll be amazing. But it will be able to connect to all these people like out in the world that maybe not into running, but we could make them into fans.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe they become fans of Two Black Runners, and that makes them fans of track and field, because we're gonna feed you the Delilah Muhammad interview. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna feed you the Sean McGordy interview, and you're gonna start learning about track.
I feel like that's something that's always just gonna be my goal, no matter where we go, anything like that. Like I just want to keep my goal is like to like push this sport like as far and forward as we can. Cause I don't know, running. I love running, everything like that. But just like the sport of track and field, like if we can get that down and people pay through that, like that opens up so much more avenues for like revenue in track and field. Because the big conversation always in track, definitely, money's always the conversation in track and field, bro. It always comes in, especially like right now with Abby Steiner's whole situation and everything, and people are discussing about, oh, you just need to go on social media and do this, and other people like, bro, I just want to run, but like if we can like push running and track and field to that next level, have some help in that, bro, everybody eats, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like this is a game. It's a sport, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is a business, That's a big thing that we took on this year with just running report and Two Black Runners, is like, how do we run an efficient business? And track and field, at the end of the day, the bottom line is money, for the athletes that are trying to get, live.
Prime time.
They need money.
All about
and the
that
brands
money.
that sponsor people, that's bottom line is money. NBC's bottom line is money, So like, that's just always going to be a part of it. So I feel like we've been raised, you got to work with what you have to make what it is happen, so we're going to do that to the best of our abilities. But also our bottom line still, like you're saying, is track and field, is to like uplift the sport to a place where people can earn. It's just more general to the public, and popularize it a little bit more so people can make money. But yeah, there's always, I like seeing like the more discussions. I feel like there's more discussions in the past 2 years. I don't know if maybe I just wasn't tapped in, because there always have been discussions, but I just feel like, I don't know, there's just a lot more voices in the sport right now than there have been in the past, in my opinion. And a lot of people too that aren't just like on Let's Run in the forums. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, like their voices like matter. Like their voices, like Ray's take, his voice matters. Like, you know what I mean? Like his takes matter. Colin's takes matters. T's takes matters. Caitlin, her takes, these people's takes, you know what I mean? And it's like, dang, now they're getting access to these places to get these because they have an audience that wants to see them. So I just really like to see that happens. And at the end of the day too, with the media thing, like everybody eats, bro. Like we all gonna eat, because there's so many people that love track and field and want to hear from different angles. And I love that everyone really, like, at least in the new age, like, bro, like, I don't know, we all just trying to do the best we can for the sport, bro. Like, I don't feel like there ain't no hate or nothing.
Shout out to all those people, shout out to these, man, Caitlin, all them, Ray's take, Colin, Serenity, all those people, like those people in that space really doing their thing, trying to take track and field to the next level, and all the photographers as well. Because photographers, I feel like every single year, like they step up their game. It's like, oh my gosh.
Photographers going crazy. The photo game crazy in track and field right now.
Golly. But we're talking about the money situation, Aaron. And I think we should bring this up because you did leave a comment on YouTube. You responded back. So I think it's only right, bro. We talked about Abby Steiner on the Running Report, and people were mad, bro, that you're that you're saying.
I don't even understand. Well, I don't understand why people are mad. Like, what are they mad about?
I think they're mad because you're all like, oh, because if you don't know, there's a alleged rumor right now on social media that Abby Steiner is going to be paid $2 million for Puma for a contract. That information hasn't been released yet. That information is not even supposed to be released yet. Like, professional track and field runners' contracts, their money situation is not supposed to be released. It's like an NDA behind it or anything like that. Like that, their contracts are not public record. But the $2 million leak came out. Abby Steiner came out saying that this is adding more stress to the situation. She also implied that like this is not even really true, like fact checked and everything like that. So, but basically, we had our conversation on Running Report show.
I still really do not understand how.
We had the conversation on Running Report show.
How does this came to? Go ahead.
You're kind of just making the point that the fact of like you're making the point of just like why is this not public record? I think that's what you're saying. Like why you're questioning why is there an NDA behind this? And I think people were taking that like you were taking a shot at Abby, like why like Abby shouldn't be mad, but you're like. You weren't saying that. You weren't saying that like Abby, don't be mad at this. Like this should be public record. Like you're questioning the system of track and field, and like that's what we're both doing.
Yeah, I wasn't saying. I never said that it wasn't invasive for people to share. Like that's definitely even for LeBron James. You know, the fact that we know all these players, like, yeah, that is kind of weird that they have to share. Well, they don't. Like LeBron James doesn't share. I never asked Abby to share nothing. And LeBron James doesn't share his salary. Like, no, none of these NBA players share their salary. It just gets shared. Like these billionaires, and they're not sharing their salaries. Like it just gets like shared. So that's why I was confused. I never told nobody to share their salaries or said nobody should have to. I'm just saying, I mean, that kind of comes with being a professional athlete in all sports except for track and field and UFC, they don't really share. Those are the only two that they don't do it. But I don't know. I think for basketball,
the question was asked to you though, bro. Like, disclose your income.
No, bro. I mean, I don't want to disclose my. If you want to DM me, if you really are trying to get a job, like where I work, I would definitely like, talk to you and like. Tell you I'll put you on game, like for sure, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, I'm not like an athlete or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't making $2 million. They take $2 million. Like, I'm making around like 60k, 60 or so K a year. But I mean, just because, yeah, I don't think Abby has to tell her salary. I'm not saying. Anyone does. I'm saying it happens if you're a professional athlete. Like that's what happens, bro. Your money is just out there. Like why is that? I don't think it was in track and field.
No, none of us were like trying to take a slight at Abby at all. To be honest,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
we're really questioning the system of track and field, and just why that you can't do that. And I feel like just the fact that you can't do that. I think a lot of people have made this point too that if track and field athletes like did share their salary, like. People may be unmotivated to be a track and field athlete at a certain point. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
But exactly. That's the question. That's what I'm saying. You're asking the question so you can get to that answer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why is it not getting shared? It's not because, you need to share it. It's like, why is it not getting shared? Oh, is it maybe because like, like it would be, embarrassing or the brand? Is it because it's embarrassing? I'm not saying it's embarrassing for the athlete.
It'd be a crime.
It's embarrassing to the, is it embarrassing to the brand? Like, is the brand going to be like, everyone going to be like, yo, y'all only paying this person this much and they done this, and this? That's crazy. Because that's how it would be in the NBA. If LeBron got James, like, if it came out like, whoa, is LeBron James making $2 million? They'd be like, what the heck, bro? People be like upset. So it's just like, but he's making a bunch of money. So they're sharing it, and then that sets the standard for people who are at that level. Like, okay, like I should be making this much money in the market, but all that stuff, behind closed doors, like,
what's really crazy? James Harden just took a $15 million pay cut.
That's crazy.
That's insane, bro.
15 million pay cut.
Pay cut.
That's his pay cut?
He said, I don't need 15 million, bro. Let's get more flexibility for this team.
Crazy.
I don't need
bro.
15. You don't need 15 million. That's crazy, bro. Hey,
That's crazy.
and there's some track athletes out there that need a lot. Like, bro, give me 1% of that 15 million. Like, yeah, that's really wild. That's really wild. But coming up, Aaron, end of this week, World Championships. We're gonna be there in action. I don't really know what to say. Like, just what are you most excited for? What have you been thinking about going to the World Championships? Did you think this was gonna happen?
I did.
And everything.
I did. I'm looking at my goals for the year. One of my goals was to go to World Championships for free. We working on that, but that's that's basically you know what I mean. We just about there basically, but I did think that we were gonna go. I just remember last year leaving Prefontaine. The first time hanging out with Matt and T, and we're all talking about like, yo, we're gonna make it to the next Olympics. We're gonna be at the Olympics. And I'm like, no, we going to the World Champs, bro. We going to World Champs next year. Like, what you mean, bro?
Yeah.
So like, I always expected to be here, but what I'm most excited about, I would say, is just like seeing the athletes, like the USA athletes, like accomplish their goals. You know, being in the mix zone, like after like Ajay, you know, runs the 8, or Abdi Hamid like runs that 5K, or Sean McGordy running the 10, Grant running the 5, like seeing US athletes like medal and like complete their season, and like, you know, they finally made it to the world stage, this big thing, and just like, you know what I mean? Cause like that's how I felt at USA's, like seeing people that we talk to all the time just like accomplish their goal and like win, make the team, and they're like so happy and everything. So World Champs is gonna be even like another level. So I'm just happy that like I get to be like a part of that, and like see that up close and personal. I think that's gonna be really cool. And like honestly, bro, to me, I feel like I made it to World Champs. Like, you know what I'm saying, in my own right, and what I do, I feel like I made it there. You know, I did what I had to do, and like, you know, I would definitely have, when I was running like a couple years ago, I definitely would have wanted to be at this World Championships participating. But like, I'm really here, bro. I'm really still here, and I'm like, you know, I'm a part of the program. Like, I'm not here to just watch. Like, I'm here to take part in a way. So
You're not just here to take part. You're not just here to take part. You're here to take over.
Yeah. Wait, what did he say? What is it? The Rosie Project thing?
that's what I was just gonna bring up though, because I was just thinking about it. 2018, I made my first running report. October 14, 2018. That's when the first one was uploaded. And like thinking back to then, 18 years old, Seaside apartment, not apartment, well, yeah, apartment dorm or whatever. Like, did I think like being at the World Championships, or like even like doing, like, I don't know, it wasn't in the plans at all. It was kind of just thought like, bro, let me just do something different. And like, I wanted to be like trying to elevate the sport of like track and field and everything like that, and trying to be more entertaining, trying to bring that Sports Center and ESPN, the stuff that we talked about. But the fact that every single year that has gotten like elevated a little bit more and more and more has truly been like a blessing. But looking back to like, just like, that's crazy. Looking back to like that kid right there, bro. And like, now it's where we're at. And I'm just excited. I'm really excited just to be there and like experience everything, especially the media portion of it, like being and working and trying to just be involved. I'm really excited for that, and just the content that we can create with everything that we're doing, because we got stuff coming on the way and we're working with different people, and it's gonna be really exciting. But just like seeing what other people are doing and seeing like their process and everything like that, and then really just experience just like the best athletes, like not just in the world, like ever. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy, dude. Like I don't think it's something that like I don't think I would truly appreciate until like 10 or 20 years from now, like seeing the athletes and the generation that we have right now. But like, bro, we got some beasts, and be able like to cover some of them is really like, it's insane. It's insane.
Like, to be honest, it's like in a way I feel like I became used to it. You know, like the fast times and stuff. Like, you know, we saw Elaine Thompson run 10.5, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But I just feel like I'm like, yeah, like we're just so, when we're there, we're so just in it, like doing our thing. that we're not even thinking about like how fast people are running or what's fast and what's slow. You know what I mean? I'm more so just like kind of watching the race. And people run fast and it's crazy, but it's just like when I was in, to me, I just feel like it how it's felt like my whole entire life, like going to a high school meet, going to a club meet, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. In a way, it feels like they're just like our peers at this point, you know, and they're just kind of doing their thing racing. But I think it's like what you said. I don't think I'll fully appreciate it because I'm just so like locked in at times that I don't fully appreciate it until later online when I'll tell people like, yeah, like I was at the race when Elaine Thompson ran 10.5. Like I seen Michael Norman around 43.6. I was there when Sydney ran the world record in the 400 hurdles. I was at that world champ. Like, I don't feel like I'll appreciate that until afterwards. And like, I definitely can't reflect and be like, oh yeah, that was amazing. But I don't know, man. Like, it's just hard when you just in it, bruh. Like, we just in it. Like, I'm not even like, I'm excited for world champs right now, but it really won't hit me until I get there because I'm just trying to get through everything day by day. You know what I'm saying? Just feel so
No, I
busy
feel that.
with work and everything, work and then the podcast and everything is just like I just have to get there, get done, and then I'll probably be like, dang, that was a crazy experience.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting. And if you haven't bought your tickets yet for World Championships, you can still do that, bro. This is our Next Stop Oregon segment where for the past couple of weeks, we have been dedicating time to World Championships and everything that's going on this summer. You already know it's coming up this weekend. 2,000 of the world's best track and field athletes will be competing for titles at the first ever World Athletics Championships on U.S. soil. And it's going to be hype, bro. You need to be a part of this. Get your tickets from July 15th through the 24th at worldchampsoregon22.com. Hayward Field, University of Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. Be there or be square, as they say. Or if you can't make it, watch at home. But you feel me? Like, you need to be there. Next Stop Oregon. It's insane. I got my little pre thing on, but dang, it's been a crazy ride, Aaron. Now joined on the podcast, we are here with the absolute legend, Aaron, a legend in the sport of running, most is definitely in the sport of track and field. He is known as the hub of distance running. He's an honorary member of 10 Minute Elite, a brand ambassador of Run Gum, a Wicked Natural and Picky Bars member, brand ambassador as well. And he's family, the New Gen, and the Butter Boys Track Club. It's not like I didn't just read that off his Twitter bio, but I basically did. We have Derek Rubis, the hub of distance running, join us on the Two Black Runners podcast for the real ones, doing our thing. Derek, how's it going, bro? How's it going? Nice to meet you, like virtually. You feel me?
Yeah, it's going great. I love you guys like brothers.
Well, Derek, man, you know, like last week or so, we got Oprah certified, and then you contacted us, said we were on your bucket list. So I was like, we're Derek Rubis certified. You know what I mean? That's big in the distance world. How did we make the list? How did you discover us?
That's big.
I think New Gen tweeted something out, and I just kept watching for like a full day. I kept watching you guys, and I thought you guys had a different perspective on what track and field is like. Yeah.
Dang, I appreciate that. I appreciate that to just get that mention. Like we said, definitely a legend in the sport. You haven't heard of Derek Rubis. You've probably definitely just seen what he has done in passing, and over the past, like over a decade now, I feel like definitely has been a presence in that, especially just in the social media sides of things as well. But what I want to know, Derek, because it's our first time me and you really just being able to talk, like what was that moment? Was there a moment, and is there like a specific thing that hooked you to become like such a big track and field fan? Because like that's not a lot. People are like basketball fans or football fans or anything like that, but and like people do like just the run just in general. But to become like a fan of the sport, like was there a moment that's particularly like hooked you in?
I was a runner, and then I for two and a half years I gave up running because I thought stagnant. felt stagnant
Yeah.
with it. But the thing that got me back was I watched Chris Zelinsky race. And I'm like, okay, this guy's from my home state of Wisconsin. I love this guy. This guy's become like my idol now. And he got me back into the sport of running. So it's because of him that I became a true fan.
One thing that we found out from since doing Two Black Runners podcast is like runners are so accessible. We've been able to meet so many people virtually in person. Did you ever get to meet Chris Zelinsky, after being inspired by him? What was that like?
I did a race in on Madison's track, and it was the same day that him and Matt Tegenkamp did the race of and trying to get under 4 minutes to be the first 2 guys under 4 minutes for the mile in Wisconsin. So yeah, I got to meet him there, and we've become friends ever since.
Dang, that's incredible, and I think that's what's so special about track and field. Definitely being it so accessible. Like we really were able just to get people on our podcast just from shooting our shot in the DMs and worked out, and we were able to move up and up. It's been an incredible journey. But just going back to that too, like I'm kind of curious because you said you got like stagnant with your running for those 2.5 years. Before that time, like when you were like running consistently, were you like into the sport as well? Like did you know like runners and just
yeah. My I used to say that in my locker in high school, I had a New Zealander, a Canadian, a British guy, and an American. So I had a wide variety of people. And the cool thing is that 2 of the guys I idolized, I'm now friends with their sons.
Oh, wow.
So
and that was like on your locker. You had their photos on your locker at school.
Yeah. Theo Quack's dad and Thomas Stein's dad.
Okay. Yeah. Dang. And it's crazy to think, their kids are killing it. They're both really great at the sport too. And like one thing about you, like Josh was saying, over a decade, you've been doing things. Like I remember like when I was like in high school, 2012, hearing about you and stuff like that. What's it been like seeing like the rise of track and field on social media? Because you've been in it when people were doing stuff for track on like Facebook. Now it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's TikTok. What's it been like? You're like a part of that. You've been a staple in that from the beginning.
I just love the growing the sport and getting the sport out there, and just growing the sport and getting the sport out there. The people that haven't don't know it, and I can educate people on stuff. So that's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, and especially like I think the most beautiful thing about like running just in general, especially distance running as well, because we're distance runners, and being able to like run with that community like around you, to go on a run with like your boys or your gals or everybody like together is a beautiful thing. And I feel like social media has brought that running community like just to the forefront for you can have it like all the time. What has it been like for you to kind of like build your own community and be able to network with so many people through like social media?
It's been around this time. It's been because of my cancer scare.
Yeah,
it's been really cool. They've been reaching out to me every day, asking me how I'm doing. The Duke guys made a YouTube video for me, and Nick Willis tweeted out about me, and that just floods of people. And so it's sort of like they're sort of like family to me. So yeah.
Did that motivate you to even like get up and do a 19-mile run today? As like you're in a couple of days, you're going into surgery, say you're gonna be out for a couple of weeks, but like I would have to think like that type of support and just like from people you've looked up to has to motivate you when you grinding out mile 16 of your 19-mile run, bro.
Yeah. I walked because I have to be close to bathrooms now because of my cancer. I have to run inside the house. So I'm watching old races of some of my favorite distance runners like Ollie and Jordy and and Josh Kerr and whatnot to motivate me to get me through my runs and whatnot. Yeah.
And you mentioned Ollie and you mentioned Josh Kerr. So I'm guessing you're big fans of Sit and Kick. You big fan of Coffee Club podcast.
Yeah, those are two on my bucket list to be on.
Hey, Josh Kerr, Ollie. I know y'all listen to the pod, so
He
let them come through.
Y'all need to make it happen. You need to happen. And speaking of that too, and speaking of social media especially, what are some of the other places that like you feel like in social media like they're killing it right now for like running just in general?
Basically, just getting their names out. I mean, with Mondo de Plicida this past week, a lot of people that are not distance people or track people are going, who the heck is this or whatnot, and it started to become fans of Mondo or become fans of this person or that person. So I sort of educate them on social media or whatnot. So yeah.
That's one thing I like about what you do, Derek, is like you're not always like, of course you like the super fast people or whatever, but I feel like like every single runner from you know everybody from the Josh Kerrs to the Ben Crawfords, and you are the king of giving everybody their flowers. Like you're giving us our flowers by letting us onto the show, and I think that's one thing you do through your platform, like with it, whether it's just putting the faces on you. Like you got like so many different names. Like you got Sam Parsons on there, but you also like are cool with Matthew Centrowitz, and it's just like I love how you don't like you're not just stuck on the elite. Like you have so many people that you give respect that are doing cool things.
Yeah, it's basically because was a former D3 runner, and I wasn't the best known D3 runner. So I feel like in that perspective, I have to do that for the ones that at what I call the bottom of the totem pole, and at the top of the totem pole. So yeah.
Yeah, keep on representing.
Because you never know that bottom of the totem pole could become top of the totem pole one day.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely how our sport plays out, man. It's a brutal sport, but you never know. It's not always the top guy that starts off super fast in high school that ends up being the world champ. It could be so many people, and you could get connected with them in so many different ways. And like how you're saying, like you build a community of all these people that are supporting you, like through this cancer scare. As you said, you're having surgery on Wednesday. How are you feeling going into that? Are you in good spirits and everything?
I didn't realize until I had pre-op on Friday, going through everything. And once I went into the hospital that I'm going to be at, I'm like, holy crap, I really have cancer. So
that's scary.
Yeah.
That's when it hit me big time, and that I'm going to be in there for about 5 days with the surgery and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely gonna be praying for you, and like this is gonna come out, this is gonna come out the week the surgery's gonna have passed, so Derek will be in recovery. So everybody listening to this, like go send him some love on IG, on Twitter, on any platform, because I know a lot of our listeners definitely know who you are, and we have respect for everything that you do for our sport.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks. And then as we start closing out, Derek, I wanted to ask you, because it would be dismissed if we didn't talk with like track and field, current track. USA's just happened around the corner. I think me and Aaron are still low-key recovering from all of it at this moment. But then World Championships are coming up like faster than I think any of us could ever thought. Just what races or events are you most excited to see at the World Championships, and just the storylines to hear about coming through the World Championships?
Men's 15, men's 10 and 5 in steeple because I was a steeple chaser and a 10K guy in college, and I'm a huge pole vaulting fan.
I'm curious because you said the steeple and the 15. Who are you more excited for at USA's? Cooper Tier winning the 15 or Evan Jager making back onto the world championship team?
I was more happy. It's a toss up. I'd have to say Cooper because I thought the last podcast I did, I didn't have him in the 15. I thought he was more of a 5K guy.
Yeah. He definitely, I think he definitely turned a lot of heads to the fact of like, you can't really box me into one thing. I think Cooper's gonna run well, bro. Like he's gonna be in that 15 final for sure. Like it's gonna be hard to get in the top 3. It's gonna be hard for anybody at this point, but like he's gonna be in that final and he's gonna be competing with like the best for sure. Like he's a real deal.
And I've already have my top 3 for the 1500 and the.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your top 3 for the 1500.
Josh Kerr is gonna win the whole thing.
Josh, okay. I like the name Josh, so I'm cool with that.
And Ali second, and Jakob third.
Jakob's getting 3rd place. Y'all heard it here first, bro. Don't forget where y'all heard it. Jakob is getting 3rd place. Josh Kerr and Ollie gonna take him down.
Yeah. I got ride big time because last podcast I was on to the beer mile. I didn't say that the thing Mo was gonna be in the top 3, and they let me have it. They let me have it because I really wanted Sage Herda and Raven so bad it was not even funny.
Sage Herda's a beast though. She's gonna make it in there eventually.
Yeah, I think she just ran. Did she just run 159 again? I think in Oslo.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they're 800. The women's 800 is really crazy right now. And then before we get to like our last 2 questions, I got for you. I've been seeing you and following you on Twitter, and you like WWE, Derek?
A little bit, yeah.
Big WWE. I'm a big WWE fan as well. I've got more into WWE in the past 2 years. I was really into it as a kid as well, but I've been getting more into it. Just watched Money in the Bank yesterday, to be honest. But I just gotta ask, like, what draws you to professional wrestling? Like, it's such a different thing. I feel like towards than any sport.
It's basically because my dad, he used to be a wrestler at University of Minnesota, and he was an alternate for not the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, but the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. And some of the guys from that he knew were professional wrestlers. But back in the day, he knew Mr. Perfect's dad.
Dang.
When we used to live in Wisconsin, they'd call his name out, and we'd go down to the place where they had the wrestling things, and he would say their names and whatnot, and they're like, "Who the heck are you talking about?" And then he'd say the wrestling name, and he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about." And they hear my dad's voice, and they'd be like, "Rubis." So it was kind of cool. One of them picked me up, and like it was nothing. He's like, "This is your son," and just picks me up, and it was the coolest thing. The wrestler's name was Baron Von Raschke. And ever since then, I became a fan of that guy, and that's what was back in the 80s was my favorite wrestler and whatnot. So yeah.
I gotta ask though, like for track and field and WWE, would you ever want to see like anything from like WWE kind of implemented in the track and field? Like I'm not talking about, I don't think we could see like chair shots, but maybe we could see like some more promos. Like I would definitely love to see Jacob cut a promo before the 15 at Worlds. Like that would be pretty fun.
Some rivalries. I mean, just look at what Noah Lyles did at the end of the 200.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember his name.
Ariel Knighton.
Yeah, just walks off and whatnot. So it's like, and then sha'carri with her stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit. She got the costumes on. It's a little bit of wrestling in there. You know, who would you want to see in the ring though? Who would you want to see in the ring for wrestling from track and field?
It's kind of funny. He calls it fun with fitness. You know, that could be a fitness fun. Yeah, that could be a fun with fitness thing.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see him getting in a wrestling match for sure.
I would love to see Raven Saunders. I think Raven Saunders.
Oh my gosh, she'd be a great.
Raven.
Yeah, no, you're right, dude. She would actually.
She would be a great WWE superstar, bro. She would shine.
And she's the nicest person ever.
Yeah, she is.
Raven. Hey, that could be your next thing. No cap. That could be Raven's next thing.
We gotta tell her when we see her, bro.
Yeah, she's the nicest person you'll ever meet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2 more questions I got for you. We were wondering, we ask this question sometimes, but 3 runners, dead or alive, that you would want to go on a run with, or like sit down, like go on a run with a Saturday 19-mile long run. You feel me? Get some breakfast afterwards and everything. 3 runners, dead or alive. They don't have to be distance runners, or they can be sprinters or anything, but three of those runners.
The only sprinter I really love is Devin Allen. So that would be one of the guys. There's this BYU guy, Paul Walter, named Caleb, that I love to death. And then my runner that I've never gotten to meet, but I've always wanted to meet him. He used to run for Tulsa. His name is Chris O'Hare.
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah.
Nice.
So those would be.
Dang. Is that like, just off of that, like, who else besides Chris O'Hare? Is there anyone else huge that if you could meet, you would love to just meet and chat it up with? Because I feel like you've met almost everybody.
He's an Australian distance runner. His wife just had a kid. Ryan Gregerson. Yeah.
See, I mean, this dude be knowing everybody, man. Like, you know, all the runners, bro. Like, you know their personality.
I'm known in 13 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the underground. He's done. Derek Rubis is the underground of track and field. You feel me?
You got his ear to the streets for real, man. Yeah. Did you ever think that you would be known that much, though? You said 13 countries. Like, you know, like you had to. There was a time where you said you were stagnant in the sport. You came from D3, and it's like so many people know who you are and your personality and everything. That you ever think you would have like that much of an impact?
Not necessarily. When I found out that 2 of my friends from who used to run for Wisconsin were down in Australia, and then the guy just mentioned, Ryan Gregerson, knew about me. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm international now.
Hey.
So, yeah. And I love my Australian and UK distance runners to death. So, yeah.
And then we got one more question for you, then we'll get you out of here. Yeah. I gotta ask Derek. We ask all our athletes, any person that comes on the podcast, really, like, what mark do you want to leave on the sport? What do you want people in track and field to really remember Derek Rubis as?
That I'm not just the guy who does nice job and congratulations. I'm not just the number 1 fan. That I also race against D1, D2, D3 athletes, that I pushed this sport forward and educated people that didn't know about the sport more, so that they're like, okay, I know who this distance runner is because of me, or I know this pole vaulter because of me. So that's sort of the legacy I want to leave.
Love it. I definitely think you've already started to make that impact, and you're definitely one of the most loved like personalities in track and field really out there, bro. So I'm just happy we're Derek Rubis certified. You know what I'm saying? Like approved. That means we kind of made it. You know.
And we appreciate you just joining us, man, for the interview and everything. Like, best of luck through the surgery.
I appreciate you guys for all you guys have done for sport.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, though, in your surgery and everything. We're going to be praying for you. Best of luck in your recovery. All of that, man. Stay strong through it all. Everybody supporting you and backing you no matter what.
Yeah, I'll be listening to you guys.
Yeah, we got you every Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's the first thing I watch is you guys.
Hey, I love to hear it.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thanks so much to Derek Rubis for joining us on the podcast, man. Really do appreciate it. Definitely saying that, bro, we're part of like his bucket list to come on and everything. Like, big ups to him. And also praying for a speedy recovery, bro. Just have it all go well with your surgery and everything, and with your colon cancer and all that.
Yes, sir, man. Really appreciate you, bro, coming on again. If y'all didn't know who Derek Rubis is, I don't know where you've been at. I don't know what you've been following, but fun interview for sure. I did not know what to expect, talking to Derek, but he was cool. He was cool, man.
Yeah, it was cool. Talked a little running, talked a little WWE, talked everything pretty much. But Aaron, let's get out of here real quick. You got anything else to say before we leave?
Like Joshua said, if y'all can, please rate the podcast. We appreciate that. That really helps us. Every rating y'all have got done for us so far has gotten us where we are. And like, damn, we really about to go to World Championships because y'all. So that's wild. That's crazy. So we appreciate all the real ones that listen to the podcast every single Black Tuesday, especially y'all that be listening all the way through, all the way to the end. Y'all know who you are, man. So truly do appreciate y'all. We got some exciting stuff coming up for World Champs. Some exciting stuff planned for the fall too. So I'm super hyped for everything we got next. And we got to get some more real ones podcast in. These are sometimes my favorite ones to do.
Yeah. Things definitely, we're going to switch some things up. We're going to switch some things up going into the new season as we go into like cross country and everything like that. But super excited for everything. Thank you all for joining us onto this journey. On to the next one. See y'all next week. There about to be a whole lot of content. Just tune into the Running Report YouTube channel. Tune into Two Black Runners Instagram. Tune into the Running Report Twitter as well. Under Running Report Instagram. Tune into all our channels. World Championships is going up.
Tap in, baby. Let's go.
We'll see y'all soon. Let's get it.
Hey.